Hey everybody, it's the Burger Dude, and today we're going to veganize my old late night order from Jack in the Box. Yes, back in the day, this was my go-to order, which was 2 tacos, a 99-cent chicken sandwich, and a Sourdough Jack. Nowadays, Jack in the Box has munchie meals, which are only available after 9 p.m. and are clearly marketed for the hungry and inebriated, but back in my day, we had to build our own munchie meal, and this was mine. The good news is these vegan versions hit all the notes and then some. I honestly think these are way better and at the same time super nostalgic and delicious. So with that, let's get to making some vegan Jack in the Box. So the first thing we're going to do is tackle the famous tacos. There's been rumors that these tacos served at Jack in the Box are accidentally vegan since they contain TVP, aka textured vegetable protein, but unfortunately they also contain beef and chicken. I've made the tiny tacos before and we used Impossible meat for those, but this time we're going to stick to the original and make them with just TVP, and I gotta be honest, these were even better than the tiny tacos I made with the Impossible. And here you go, this is the TVP I was talking about. You can find this at Whole Foods or Sprouts, health food stores, online definitely, and even, some regular grocery stores should have it as well. So what we're going to do is rehydrate it in some beefless broth. You can find this stuff online or at Whole Foods as well. And then we're going to just rehydrate it with that, and we're going to give it a stir and throw that in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, which is the perfect amount of time to whip up our Jack in the Box hot sauce. And I don't remember if this hot sauce tastes exactly like the Jack in the Box stuff, but in the context of the taco, it really did hit all the notes. You can add as many spices as you like to this. This is just what I'm doing. I'm using this chili sauce by Heinz. If you can't find this stuff, you could just use ketchup. That's going to be totally fine. Some vinegar, of course. And then we're going to throw in some cayenne. This was pretty spicy. I mean, it wasn't that spicy. It was a little spicy, so do as much cayenne as you like. We're also using some MSG because we are making Jack in the Box, and you best believe that they use MSG at Jack in the Box. We're also going to be using some cumin, as much as you got. I ran out. We've also got some what's this here sauce. Just make sure it's vegan and doesn't have any fishies in it. It usually has anchovies. But actually, usually it is vegan. Sometimes it has anchovies, but not very often. And then we're going to do a cornstarch slurry, which is just 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and a tablespoon of water. And that's going to help thicken it up. And then all we need to do is bring it up to a light boil. And we're going to whisk that for about a minute or so. And then after that, you're basically done. All you need to do is put it in some Tupperware and then add it to the refrigerator. And it'll thicken up and it'll be wonderful in just a half an hour or so. And in the meantime, we want to throw together our taco sauce to flavor our TVP, because TVP, like tofu, is pretty bland on its own, but it will absorb pretty much anything you throw at it. And since we're making a really flavorful taco sauce here, it's going to absorb that and it's going to taste amazing. And this masa harina, if you can find it, is really nice. It's going to add some good flavor. It's going to help thicken up the sauce. So if you can find it, I highly recommend it. As well as these chipotles and adobo. I throw these in just about anything that I can. And yeah, we're going to use some more MSG. By the way, MSG stands for Makes Stuff Good. And there's a reason why, because it does. So now we're going to give it a taste to make sure that the MSG did its job, and it did. So we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to get our TVP, which has been hydrated, and we're just going to add it to a pan over some medium heat. If there's any sort of excess liquid, just reduce it down. Once it looks something like this, let's add in our taco sauce, and we're just going to mix that up, and we want to reduce this as well. I'm also going to add in a cornstarch slurry to help thicken it up. And just get this to a simmer. We're going to reduce it down till the liquid has mostly evaporated, but not completely. And then once it looks something like this, you're basically done, and it's just time to taste for seasoning. And man, oh man, this stuff was so freaking good. I was just tasting it over and over again. I really am super sold on TVP. It's a very versatile and delicious protein. I can't wait to work with it again. There you go. Thumbs up. So we're going to add it to some Tupperware and then throw it in the fridge because we want to cool it down so it's going to be easier to work with when we form our tacos. Speaking of which, what we need to do here is heat up our tortillas so that they're going to be pliable and they won't break. You can heat them up however you like. I just like to heat them up in a little bit of oil because we're going to fry them up anyways. And now we're going to add in about 2 or 3 heaping tablespoons of our TVP mixture. And then you're going to just gently fold it over and press it down and seal it up. And you're going to get about 8 tacos from the TVP mixture that we've got. And once it looks beautiful like that, we're going to add it to that oil. Add in a little bit more oil than we had before. And we're just going to fry these until golden brown. This is the super easy fun part. Just keep an eye on them, flip them every now and then, and once they look pretty good like that, I mean, look at those things, just delicious. You could eat them just like that and they'd be super good, but what we're going to do instead is we're going to add in the other accoutrements. So we've got a slice of Daya. I've got the new American slices, which I really dig. Cut it diagonally like that to make a little triangle, and now we're going to get our taco. You want to let it cool down a little bit because you're going to have to handle it, as you can see here. Gently just kind of open it and then press down some of that meat with your finger. This is why it's important that it's not burning hot, but you still want it to be a little bit hot because we're going to gently slide in our cheese. And the residual heat should melt the cheese a little bit. If not, it's not a big deal. It's super good no matter what. We're going to throw in as much of that iceberg lettuce as you like. I like a bunch because it really is a nice contrast to everything else that's going on. And then we're also going to throw in a good old healthy squirt of that hot sauce that we made. I've got it in a squeeze bottle for convenience. And then next, it's time to chow down. And oh man, this thing was so good. It was just like I remember, only better, because not only is it homemade, but the quality of the ingredients is just better. I mean, look at that thing. So freaking scrumptious. But now it's time to move on to the next star of the show, the 99-cent chicken sandwich. And this thing is super simple. I know I make a lot of crazy chicken sandwiches on this channel, but I do like a simple chicken sandwich too. And for these, I am using my trusty good old friend Gardein, but if you don't want to use that or you don't have access, you can totally use tofu. Just make sure you freeze and thaw it twice, and what that's going to do is the water is going to expand and create a nice meaty sort of texture. After that, you want to press it and be very gentle with it because it's going to be very delicate. You're going to slice it up and then you use a cookie cutter to cut out a patty type shape like that. It's going to be just as good and you're going to be super pleased with the results. I guarantee it. And if you are using the Gardein, what you want to do is you want to make sure you thaw it. You can either thaw it overnight in the fridge or on a countertop for about an hour. Just don't microwave it because you'll start to cook it and then you won't be able to work with it. But we're going to put it in a burger press to get a nice uniform patty, something like that. And once you've got that going, it's time to get our dredging station together. So get some panko breadcrumbs. And panko breadcrumbs are great because they kind of guarantee that your chicken's going to come out crispy. So if you ever have trouble with fried chicken, just add some panko. It's going to be guaranteed crispy. We're also going to add some MSG because it's all over the place on this recipe, and some Old Bay. The bowl on the left is just some flour and some cornstarch as well. And then for our wet mixture, we're going to do a vegan buttermilk. So I'm going to get some of my favorite plant milk, which is Ripple. Make sure it's unsweetened because you don't want to have a sweet chicken. I mean, you could if you want, but it's not going to be good in my opinion. Add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and that's going to create our vegan buttermilk. And once you've let that sit for a few minutes to curdle, get your chicken patty and get it coated in that flour and then coat it in that vegan buttermilk and the panko as well. And just make sure that you get it all nice and covered on each of these stages. Shake off the excess. And once it looks something like that, it's time to get a pot of oil, ideally canola, vegetable, or peanut, up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to plop that little dude in there and fry him until he looks something like that. I mean, how beautiful is that? Just look at that. Don't you just want to don't reach out and get it because it's really hot. Put it on a wire rack, let it cool. Once it has, get a bun, a toasted bun, of course. Top it with a little bit of that iceberg lettuce, and then give your top bun a good old slathering of some vegan mayo, and now you have one of the most simple but delicious vegan chicken sandwiches, at least that I've ever experienced. I really love this thing. Took me back, super delicious, super nostalgic. And speaking of which, time to make the Sourdough Jack vegan. And this thing was super freaking scrumptious. It was really just like I remember, only better, of course. And we are going to start off with the vegan bacon, and this is my rice paper bacon. So if you've been around this channel for a little while, you've seen me do this probably a couple times. So I'm just going to kind of blast through this recipe. And if you want to see a more detailed video, I'll leave a link in the description for my rice paper bacon video. But essentially all we're doing is making a bacon marinade. Then we're going to get some rice paper sheets, hydrate them in water. We're going to coat them in that bacon marinade. Then we're going to throw it on a cutting board like that. Brush on some more of that marinade and try and get some of those air bubbles out as well. Once it looks good, we're going to get a pizza cutter and just cut out some bacon strips like this. And then all you need to do is throw them on a wire rack, and then we're going to fry them up in some oil. And I really do love this recipe. I make it probably twice a month, and you can just make a big batch, and then you can just have vegan bacon whenever you want. Just keep it in some Tupperware in the fridge, and you can either fry it all up at once or you can fry it up as you go. It's really super awesome to just have handy at any time. But now we need to talk about the bread. I did find these sourdough buns. And I've tried making a sourdough jack with like actual good sourdough bread, and it was a good burger, but it didn't remind me of a sourdough jack. And unfortunately, that kind of bread that they use, I don't know where to find it. And I tried making it once, and it was a disaster. So I got to thinking, what if I just got 2 bottom buns, got a bread knife, and just kind of shaved off the bottom to expose the interior of that bun. And you know what? It totally worked. And you don't even really need these sourdough buns, to be honest. I don't remember the sourdough bread at Jack in the Box really tasting that much like sourdough. It's basically just kind of glorified white bread. So just get some bottom buns, shave off the bottom like I've done here, and then you just grill them in some vegan butter, and it's basically hits all the notes that a sourdough jack hits. And just try this hack. If you don't like it, leave me an angry comment, but I think you're going to like it. I really, really dug this a lot, and it's the first time I've had a vegan sourdough jack that made me feel like I was eating an actual sourdough jack, but of course better. It just tasted better. I'm sorry, Jack in the Box, but your food's really disgusting. I mean, I have a lot of like fond memories of it, but I only ate it when I was drunk. It's not very good food, but you know what? The ideas that they have are great. This is a great architecture for a burger. And this is proof, because if you make it at home, it's super freaking scrumptious. And I wasn't even drunk. I mean, this was like 11 in the morning. So, no shade if you like to be drunk at 11 in the morning. I've definitely been drunk at 11 in the morning. And anyways, right here, what I wanted to show you, I'm blathering, I'm very sorry. But what I wanted to show you here was some of the food styling process. You can see I'm placing stuff and being very meticulous about it. And it still kind of came out kind of weird. I went back and did some other stuff for this photo. But here you go. Here's the whole gang right here. We're going to take a bite of these chicken sandwich. And you know what? All this stuff was cold by the time I ate it, because I was, taking photos and I was trying to make way too much food all at once. But you know what? It was still super good. In fact, these tacos, I had a bunch left over. I ate them the next morning, cold, out of the fridge, and they were way better than Jack in the Box hot when you're drunk, 2 in the morning. Still better. So I really think you all should make this stuff. I mean, choose one. You can make all 3 if you like. You can make the tacos ahead of time and then reheat them later. Same with the bacon. The chicken sandwich, you could even make it and then reheat it later if you want to really time it all so that you can eat all this at the same time hot, unlike me. But you know what? If you make one, you make all of them, you're going to be freaking happy. I guarantee it. I hope you all do. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you next week.